It's got to be a very exciting day, especially for your folks at the ORA.
It's extremely exciting for us. You know, we commissioned the first preservation study for the Tarbell House in 2007, and we've worked on the project ever since. So it's been a lot of very committed volunteers, contractors, vendors, my staff. We've lived and breathed this project for 10 years, so it's nice that this is such a fitting, momentous occasion, because they're typically not so exciting, so to speak, with a literal crane lift of the last piece of the puzzle, so to speak.
The best part of all, even though I have loved working with all of the contractors, has been the terrific interest by the local and regional community in one house, and watching it step by step, having the hands of time turn back on it to restore it to its time period of its most famous family of occupants.
This is probably a pretty exciting day. I wonder if you can talk about that.
It is. Well, anytime that you can have the process of something going back to being more historically accurate is exciting, and I think given from the amount of crowd we have here today to watch it happen, it's a really neat thing to see another little piece of history being restored here in Titusville. Maybe one of the best parts is it's been calling attention to the Tarbell House that maybe other locals aren't as aware of what it is, the story behind it, who Ida Tarbell was and her influence, both connecting oil heritage and Titusville to the national scene. Of course, there's what she did for women. I mean, she's certainly an inspirational figure in that regard too, and what she's done for journalism. So there's a lot of different levels of it, and it's nice to see people coming and paying attention to that story, and we'll have that as something to kind of point to and have more people be aware of in the future. It's another point of pride for Titusville.
So a momentous day. I understand that you had something to do with the funding, but it's probably pretty nice to see the money going to work. It's got to be an exciting day for you.
Oh yes, it definitely is. Been looking forward to this. This project has gone through a lot of steps, and this is a big one. The funding that we've provided for this is through the Harold Heiss Charitable Trust, which is one of PNC's trusts. It's the only fund we have that's specifically for historic restoration and preservation.
What's the best part of this process for you?
You know, actually seeing the end result.
Wow.
And it's been a long time coming since we started the initial historic review and the adaptive reuse study back in 2007. Our firm has been involved in every phase of the project since then.
This is a lot more than just putting lines on a piece of paper, I take it.
Oh yeah, from the initial, and I have to give a lot of credit to the people who worked on the project, starting with an architect, Donna Gaston, that worked for me back in 2007 on the initial phases of the project. And, she was able to put together all the information and do the initial drawings through our office to find out and figure out how the house was built and how it was put together, and all the information. From that, we were able to develop all the detailed drawings through all the phases of the different construction, from the initial salvage the building to the plumbing, the heating, the electrical, all those things, interior finishes, exterior finishes, and now, of course, this part of it, which is the final phase of the project. It's been a long time coming.
What's been the best part of this for you?
Well, today's the best part right now. What a relief, you know. Other than that, we enjoy the shop work and making the little pieces, the corbels and all that. I made those in my shop. We started on that stuff back in March, so now it's up there where it belongs, and you know, I slept about 2 hours last night. I'll sleep like a baby tonight, so.
Oh, today's definitely a combination of excitement and a little bit of trepidation. I have to admit that too. But we have full confidence in the professional skills of the whole crew involved here and their equipment. And it's just not every day you get to see, in essence, a part of a third floor raised and put on top of an existing structure.
when we initially lifted it off the ground, he's listening for any snap, crackle, pops or anything, and nothing, never made a noise. So structurally, it was good. It was capable of the lift, and other than a little crown molding cut, we had to trim back a little bit. I had to raise it up again, and then it dropped back down in and sat down. I put the level on all 4 walls, and it's plumb. And
Everything fits.
yeah, so we'll be doing a little bolting together this afternoon, bolting it down into the original structure.
Was this something special for you, or was this just another walk in the park?
It's not a walk in the park. We don't run into these projects every day. These are very rare, and we're, I guess, fortunate to have been involved in this one because most of them you get involved in a little bit of a historic project, and it's a little bit of renovation here and there, but this has been a total makeover from the ground out.
Because everything is under the umbrella of economic development. But education is a huge piece of it. We must educate as being part of a national heritage area. So education is a very big high on the priority list of the National Park Service and the DCNR in their heritage programs. So we are an extension of the National Park Service in these types of projects, and they're all about educating the public. So, but being an economic development driver, yeah, we have to contribute to the uniqueness of our communities, make them more livable, make them safe, for companies to be able to grow and expand here, and for the workforce to have a quality of life that brings good employees to these companies.
The cupola gets put up, the finial gets put on. What's next for you?
Well, the next is that we are able to focus our attention here at the Tarbell House onto programming and events, and not so much the physical restoration of the building, but the actual educational programming. And we would love to turn our attention even more to the grounds, and I have a dream, and I will say it's a dream. I don't know if we'll see it, but I would love to see a public Victorian garden surrounding this house. But that will probably take several more years yet.
How important is it that folks get to see something like that, that they can physically touch something that's coming together like that?
I think it's very important. The culture of our communities in the oil region, and with what projects such as this one contribute to the culture of our communities, makes us unique. From if we don't do projects like these, and many preservation groups within our region we partner with and are working on multiple projects like this, it is the fabric of our community and our history, and we want to be able to educate our residents, our visitors, and our future generations of our history and its significance in the world. Otherwise, we run the risk of just not being any different than any community from New York to California. So it's a vital piece. It's one piece. There's many other great projects going on in Titusville and the rest of the region, and I ask people to come and get involved. We are always looking for volunteers and for input, for people to get involved in these types of projects. The model of the Tarbell House is a self-sustaining model. We have an apartment that we rent out. We also hold events here that help sustain the property, and for private parties and private tours that we're seeing a lot more activity with, people in buses coming to our region to look at our historical sites, learn about our culture, visit properties such as this. And it's one piece of a big puzzle.
Well, it's another step in our oil heritage. We've got all this tourism, and any time we can add to all there is to see and do in Titusville, and another element of that. We've got another step completed on the Ida Tarbell project, thanks to the hard work of everyone at the ORA. So we're really excited to have that happen.
So it can only be a good thing.
That's right, it's only a good thing. And it's been so fun to see the progress being made with the cupola being built right on the front lawn, and being here and getting to see it raised today. So it's always a good thing.